All right, so how are you all doing? This
Oh,
fine,
Jesus.
cold
Pretty good. Chilly.
afternoon.
Fight Walmart.
What happened at Walmart?
So yesterday I went to go get two new tires on my truck because I was not getting the full four, and I replaced my two front tires. Logically,
So like snow tires or something, or
no, just generic all-terrains. Didn't really need to change into winter tires. They don't sell winter tires for my truck.
Really?
oh, okay.
So
Is it too old?
Yeah, it was either all terrains or all seasons, and the all seasons were $20 more. So I went with the all terrains. So logically, you think when someone replaces your tires, they'll move the old tires to the front
I would
and
never
the new
assume
tires
that.
to the back, right?
I just
well,
don't know
that's what
enough
a tire
about
rotation
automobiles,
is.
brother.
That's what a tire rotation is they rotate the old tires
Right.
to the front and the new tires to the
that's.
back.
I always assumed
Yeah.
they were just like spinning the tires around, tightening them up or something.
No, no.
Oh, that's.
And you thought you were
interesting.
paying for that?
I don't know.
So when I get in the truck, they pull it out. It's like, yep, it's done. They just replaced the front tires, did not move the rear tires to the front and put the new tires in the back. They didn't rotate my tires. And now
Yeah.
I have to do that on my own. A couple weeks, probably.
Yeah.
And now I'm just annoyed that I have to do more work when I paid them to put the tires on and rotate them.
I mean, if that was expected, you could probably call them and be like, "Why didn't you do the job I was
I
paying
don't
you
care.
to do?"
It's a
Yeah, it's
Walmart.
probably
I don't
less
care
work
enough.
to just rotate the
It's
tires than it would be to
literally
fight
less
Walmart.
Because I have to replace a brake caliper anyway, and that
Yeah.
requires me to take off all the tires to bleed the brakes,
Yeah.
so I can just do it then. So, but hey, at least this is probably the last time until the head gasket explodes in this truck that I have to talk about it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I
I'm
will
sure something
hold you
catastrophic
to
will
that.
happen.
I don't think there's okay. So
I will
to run
clip
down
this
what has
and
been
I will
replaced.
play it next time you talk about this truck.
So
next week.
the one caliper left to replace is the other caliper that I didn't replace months ago.
I don't even know what a
Surprise.
caliper is.
It's
Do you, Connor?
Part of the
No,
brakes.
that's
brake
a car
caliper.
word for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had to
Yeah.
replace that. The alternator got replaced. The heater motor got replaced. The starter has already been replaced because we thought it was broken. It has a new battery. It has new tires.
The truck of Theseus.
There's I'm pretty sure I've replaced something else. Other than that, it's minor cosmetic work at this point. Like taping my tailgate down so it doesn't shake when I hit a bump.
Was it
That's a
still
fun
worth
one.
it? You think?
Like,
I mean, you still got to
In
get
terms of
around.
like how much
Yeah.
you're spending
Yeah.
on it. You know,
Well,
you got
I
it for
mean,
free and stuff.
Yeah,
But-
I got it for free, and I think I'm still under what market is for a truck of that age. So I think I'm still profiting here.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you'd bought a
It's
truck of
like-
this age, you'd probably still be doing all these repairs.
Yeah, I'd still be doing these repairs.
Yeah,
The fact
so
that
it's
it
still-
was just sitting there. I mean, the wheels, I was using older wheels, but the wheels that it did have on the tires that it did have on it before I replaced the ones my grandfather had in a garage had dry rot on them,
Yeah.
and they were cracking pretty bad. And when a tire starts to crack, that becomes an explosive device.
Yeah.
So I was
Oh,
basically
because of the pressure or
driving on-
something?
Yeah, it's the weakening of the rubber and the rubber breaking down. So at any point it could just blow out. So I was driving around a time bomb. So I opted with older, more worn wheels that I can just replace at any point
The cost
that aren't gonna explode.
the cost to compare for whether or not it's worth it is like 5-7 grand that you could have got like a reliable like
Yeah, I'm way
used
below
car.
that.
And yeah, I figure you're below that still.
Yeah, I think
Not
I
by
gotta replace
I
the
figure not by a
thermostat,
ton. I figure you're like half that
Actually-
probably.
but we're not even replacing the thermostat. We might just get a different thermostat so it runs hotter.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Just
knows?
crack open the windows, or buy a little hand warmer or something.
It doesn't have AC, but I mean, it has windows. The windows work fine. It
Yeah.
has heat though. The heat works.
You got
The heat is
manual
really
windows?
good. Yeah, I have to.
Good.
It's so funny when someone walks up to my passenger side and I have to like lean over
Yeah.
the entire truck to roll down the window.
You do not want an old car with automatic windows though. It's
Oh, God.
such a pain in the ass when those things
Nothing-
go out.
Nothing in this truck, other than the transmission, is automatic. It's all analog.
Does it even have power steering?
It does have power steering.
Okay.
I mean, that's a given. But everything else, the door locks.
My old Jetta didn't have power steering for a long time. It had gone out,
I have
and I
two
just
keys.
didn't bother.
So I have two keys. One key only unlocks the doors. The other key unlocks the ignition, and it doesn't have ignition lock.
Interesting.
so I can pull the key out of the ignition while it's running.
That's horrible.
And I forgot that I did it because I turned it on, pulled the key out, locked the door so I could warm it up while I was working.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then I drove the sheets for my work.
Without your keys.
I had my keys on my person. They were just sitting on the
Okay.
center console, and I looked to go turn off the car. I'm like, oh, I forgot to put the keys back in. current like 95, 97 truck problems is that the keys just don't have to be in the ignition.
That's
sometimes.
crazy.
Well, that's just typical now. That's the same as people with
That
push
is
button
typical now,
start.
yeah.
Yeah, I have a
You're
push
just
to
ahead of
start,
the-
but I have still have to turn the key.
Ahead of the times.
So, I actually, just to shift topics a little bit, because I actually realize I do want to talk about this, and
Okay.
Connor will relate to this heavy. It sucks having a food restriction.
Yes.
And Connor, you know this. I think you've said before on the show what your restriction
Yeah, I
is,
have
right?
celiac disease, so I
Yeah.
can't eat gluten.
And I have a peanut allergy that's like life-threatening, right?
And we love to
And-
travel together.
Yeah. And also, like I fully realize like this is in the spectrum of health deficiencies, this is pretty low, right? Like this is manageable. It's not
Yeah, for sure. I feel
it
the
can
same
be
way.
life-threatening,
Yeah.
but it is as long as you're smart about it, it shouldn't be a problem. But it does cause quite a bit of chip damage over time, right? It's like you always, and I'm sure Connor, you can relate to this. You can never let down your guard, even for
Yeah.
a second, right? And sometimes, even when you take all the precautions, something happens that just kind of ruins your day. Case in point, today, I walk over to Whole Foods to buy a lunch. There's a new orange chicken bowl. I read the ingredients, as I always do with everything, because I have to make sure I can eat it. And it was totally fine. Nothing I'm allergic to, no peanuts or anything. I eat it for lunch, and I just feel awful the entire day. I still feel awful right now.
Yeah.
And it's very clear, like this has happened to me before, I had some kind of mild allergic reaction, probably due to like some kind of cross-contamination.
Yep.
Which sucks. And this was a scenario where like I, was completely took all the precautions, but still something happened. So it just it sucks sometimes.
I read a Reddit thread this week that was a guy claiming that he played a fun game where he would swap out someone's groceries in their cart while they weren't looking with like a random similar thing. And I was just, I
That's
commented,
crazy.
I'm like, you're going to kill somebody. Like,
You're gonna kill
Yeah.
you
somebody.
don't mess with people's food. That's insane.
See, I don't have a food restriction, but I have to read the label of every single like deodorant that I get because I have
Oh,
a
really?
skin allergy to propylene glycol,
Oh,
and it
Yeah.
causes
stuff.
like massive amounts of rashes and like pain.
Yeah.
painful.
that sucks.
So
Yeah.
every single time I go out shopping, I have to read these ingredients to make sure I'm not gonna like cause myself to break out.
But
Yeah.
yeah, the food
It's
allergy
just-
life is exhausting.
Yeah, that's
It is,
I
right? Because
imagine
like
it's
every time you go
worse
out,
than this.
with your friends or family or whatever, go out to a restaurant, you always just have to have your guard up and you have to make a whole thing of it. Like ask
Yep.
the waiter, like it's just and you learn to live with it. And again, right, it's not like a serious condition most of the time,
Right.
but it's just like frustrating to always have that on your mind at all times.
Yeah.
I guess
Luckily,
what I'm
we're
saying
getting,
is,
we're
if
getting
there
better
was-
with food labeling, right?
Yeah.
And a lot
I
every
mean,
day.
food
Yeah.
labeling's really good. That's not the issue.
Well, it's really good for you. It wasn't really
Yeah.
good for gluten until like 5 years
Right.
ago, maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think it's because of the severity of like a typical severity of a peanut allergy. Usually, if you've got one, it's pretty severe. So, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up today because it's something I dealt with today. Like I puked today. I was
Yeah.
on the toilet a lot today, and I was just like, this sucks. And
Dude.
it was like totally something I could eat too.
Yeah. Can I tell
Yeah.
you something crazy that people keep saying to me?
Yeah.
I have heard this like probably a dozen times over the past decade. I'll say like, yeah, I have to eat gluten free because of celiac disease. It's not a big deal. And somebody will like unironically look me in the eyes and say, "Oh, I'd kill myself."
Yeah.
You could cut so many. There's so many gluten products that you could just live without.
Yeah,
you know what
you
though?
know?
It's fine.
You know
man.
what?
Like, why would you
My-
say that to me?
You just can't
You know
eat
what's-
bread. You know.
What I will say, what is even worse, and what I get frequently, which it's like I've gotten it so much, I just kind of, it's like whatever. But
Yeah.
it irks me to think about when I tell like new people, right, like coworkers. Most of them are totally understanding, right? Like most of them
Yeah.
totally get it. A few of them are like, "You sure that's real? You want to just try one and see?" And I'm just like,
That's
You
crazy
have no
with a
you
peanut
have
allergy.
no idea.
Like,
you just don't know what you're talking about, even a little bit. You
like when
know?
people
Like,
say that to me, mine's not literally an allergy. It is a disease that presents very similarly to an allergy.
yeah,
And so like when they say it to me, I'm like, okay, you're not well read on celiac disease, which is not that weird. But with somebody
Right.
saying that about a peanut allergy, it's like, are
But-
you
but
stupid?
it's frustrating
Do you
'cause,
not
like-
live in the same world as us?
well, that's the frustrating part, right? Like if you go to a lot of Eastern countries,
oh yeah,
like peanut allergies aren't a thing, right?
Yeah.
So like a lot of people that are like raised in those environments are just like, oh, this is just like you're just being weird. Just eat peanuts, get over it, you know?
it's not
And
just
it's
Eastern
like
countries; it's South America too. It's a
yeah,
very
it's a
Anglo.
US. It seems to be
yeah.
like a US kind of centric thing.
Europe
Or,
too.
Well, Europe too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
But
yeah,
and I'm
the
not
West.
quite sure. You know, like I don't think scientists know why really that is yet, but like it is a phenomenon. So I do get it. Like especially if you're from one of those countries and you've never heard of such a thing before. But it's just like, look, man, like I've been on this earth for 31 years now, right?
Yeah.
Like I know what I can and can't eat. You know, it's not
Yeah.
that. You know,
I know.
I can't
what
just
an
tough it out.
allergy is.
so. Yeah, I don't know. Just wanted to vent a little bit about my allergy today, I guess.
Yeah, moral of the story: just don't mess with people's food, like ever, for any reason. Like,
Yeah, dude. This reminds me. Actually, at that same Whole Foods, right? Like, so I don't know if you guys have ever been to a Whole Foods.
dude, I go pretty frequently these
Okay,
days.
but
yeah.
you know the hot bar, they have labels
Yeah.
on all the dishes, and there's allergen information like on
Yeah.
everything, which is really useful, right? And I've used that all the time when I get like hot lunch there.
yeah, I've never done that.
I noticed in like there was like some kind of like Brussels sprout salad,
Mhm.
and I looked at the allergens, and there was like nothing in there except for like soybeans or something. But looking at the actual dish, there were very clearly sliced almonds in there, and I was just like, this could kill someone if they're
somebody,
not paying
yep.
attention. It's like how you have to be more careful than this, and like seeing that, like it instantly threw everything into question. Like if Whole Foods can mess something like this up, like.
yeah.
It could happen for peanuts too, and I was just like, well, I guess I'm just dead if that happens.
Yeah, I mean that's the nice thing about
But-
me is I don't like die on the spot. I would die over prolonged exposure. So like I just get
I
sick
wouldn't
for a
die
few
on
weeks.
the spot, but I would die within like hours.
Yeah.
Or less, actually. Like that's what the EpiPen is for, right? You
Right.
inject yourself to buy yourself time to get to the hospital.
See,
so when
unfortunately,
you go into anaphylactic shock, you're at a hospital that can mitigate the situation.
I'm not gonna die, but there is functionally nothing I can do. I am just sick for like 3 weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. You got to be careful about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I just hope, like,
Dude,
I don't know, like, people are becoming more lackadaisical, it feels, and it's kind of scary.
I don't know if this is a hot take or not. Old people are significantly worse about it than young people. Like significantly worse. Like I used to be convinced as a kid that when you turned 50 you forgot how to read. Like cuz I was a Boy Scout and I regularly was like hosting events and stuff and I would bring my own food and I would make this argument every single time. I would say like, "Hey, why don't I just have my own food and not share it with anybody?" And my parents would be like, "No, you have to share it. You have to share it." So I'd be like, "Okay, everybody like get from this first so you don't contaminate it or something." And any younger person would go through and do everything right. And then one of these boomer scoutmasters would come over and just immediately like sprinkle breadcrumbs in my food. Like
A little bit of poison.
it
for
felt like an
young
act of
Connor.
intentionality to hurt me.
No, it's just like one of those things where, like, if you don't have to deal with it, you just don't realize how
Yeah.
pervasive it is in literally every aspect of your life, and you have to always be thinking about it. So,
But it's also one of those things that just kind of goes into the background for you when you do it. Like I don't think about
Right.
it very often. It's just what I
well,
do.
I mean, like, I think about it when I'm getting food every single time without fail,
Well, I have to do it, but like I don't realize I'm doing it, I guess, until I'm with somebody else and I see them not read the ingredient label on
Right,
something.
right,
I'm like,
right,
that's
right. I
weird.
see what
That's
you're
weird.
saying.
Why didn't they?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Like, if they ever come up with some kind of, I don't know. I know they have like allergy sensitivity shots and stuff,
Yeah, but
and
that's
stuff
more
like
for
that.
environmental allergies.
But like, if they ever come up with something, and regardless of like how much it costs or other side effects, I'm taking that immediately because it's just like a huge weight off my mind.
I would probably take on 6 figures of expenses to get rid of celiac disease for sure.
No, yeah, I fully understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm right there with you.
Below
So,
6 figures, but not. Yeah, but I would do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's literally like changing
It's
the quality
life-changing.
of your life.
I would
forever,
probably live
so,
longer. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, and welcome back to Game Talk. I'm your host, Sam, and me on today I'm joined by Connor
Hey guys.
and Mike.
Hello.
And Connor had the idea for today's episode. We're going to talk about our favorite franchises. Connor, do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, mainly this was another excuse to talk about Monster Hunter. But I just I don't know. We're what 50 years into this whole video games thing, that give or take. I think Legend of Zelda's turning 40 this year or something. Like we've actually had some time with some games now. So I thought it'd be interesting to talk about who's been able to be consistent, who maybe used to be consistent and can't quite make it anymore. I think we could probably come up with some good examples of franchises that had a dark era that maybe they've managed to come out of.
Yeah. It's interesting when you suggested this. Like, I think of the word franchise, especially in 2025, and I can't help but assign a kind of negative connotation to it, even though that's not like
that.
by definition. Because like when you say franchise to me, I think of something like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed, where it's very clearly motivated primarily by, and again, like all these products are, but very clearly motivated by profit rather than creativity. But there are examples, just like you said, of franchises that have been around basically since like the antiquity of video games.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Mario and Zelda are two prime examples.
Yeah, very early.
Franchises.
Yeah.
Probably the most consistent high-quality franchises I can think of. I mean, I don't know if I can
Zelda
think of
for sure.
better ones.
I actually wouldn't say that for Mario, unless you're only counting as 3D games.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But Zelda, yes.
Yeah.
Zelda 2D, 3D.
Zelda's
all
got
of
like
it's just
one or two bad games. And,
Yeah.
and even
And
the bad ones are like fine.
Right,
Yeah.
like immediately I jumped to like Skyward Sword, and like at worst Skyward Sword is just fine.
I was
you know?
thinking of
It's
the
not-
two DS games, and they're like
Spirit Tracks.
middling. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, the overall quality of that franchise is so high. And I think a large part of it is just because, I mean, like, you have to look at what they did with Breath of the Wild. They're
Yeah.
not afraid to completely, like, reinvent themselves, but
Right.
still be Zelda. And they've done it, I think, twice now, really. I was going to say one in the jump to 3D, but even that
I
kind
don't
of
think
follows
that's fair
the template.
necessarily,
Yeah.
because it like A Link to the Past set the template. Ocarina of Time kind of perfected it, and then they iterated from there.
And then Breath of the Wild was the first, like, true, like, completely different,
Yeah.
like, departure from what the series was.
They've done some weird stuff. Like there were some precursors to Breath of the Wild. Like they had A Link Between Worlds, which was completable in any order, which was interesting. They were clearly like experimenting with how to get away from that linear formula at that time, and then they really sent it with Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but like, yes, they deviated from the linear formula, but they also introduced like this highly physics-driven
Right.
world that was at the core of what made Breath of the Wild what it was. I'm just like, how did you get there? I don't know. They have geniuses over there on the Zelda team.
Definitely. Well, I wonder if they were just like, well, what are other games doing with puzzles? And like Half-Life has its physics puzzles. They might have looked at that, and some other games doing the same thing. I think if they were in a vacuum, then it's crazy that they did it, which sometimes Nintendo developers are. Some of them do not play other games, but I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking.
But yeah, like, I think if we had to crown one, I think we'd all be in agreement here. It'd be Zelda, right? As like
The most consistent?
the most consistent video game franchise.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, what are you thinking?
I think it's Monster Hunter for most. I mean, it hasn't been around as long. Monster Hunter's only been around 20 years, but every single Monster Hunter game is like, I think their lowest is a 7 out of 10 and their highest is an 8 out of 10. Like,
okay, yeah, but I would argue, like, I don't know, like the lowest Zelda's probably a 7 out of 10, and then like the
those
best
DS
Zelda's
games are like
like
a 5.
those DS games. Okay, maybe you're a little more harsh than I am, but But I mean, like the best Zelda games are like
The
an
best Zelda
11
games
out of
are
10.
10s,
You know? Yeah.
Yeah, so you
So-
got me there, and it has
Higher peaks.
more breadth. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot more variety. But every Monster
Right.
Hunter game is exactly the same until Wilds, which is slightly different.
Well, that's interesting itself, right? Because like Monster Hunter does that, and it's largely successful each entry.
Yeah.
And so are like most franchises, right? Like Call of Duty does that.
Yeah.
It's the same game
It's the
every year.
exact
FIFA
same
does
game.
that. It's the
Yeah.
same game every year. But like, it's interesting that like in critical circles, and we're not talking about commercial circles, but critical circles. I mean, people are just kind of lukewarm on Call of Duty
Right.
and FIFA or whatever. But
But they're pretty kind to Monster Hunter.
yeah, Monster
is
Hunter,
interesting,
like,
yeah.
because I think Monster Hunter just has that kind of depth of gameplay that just it remains fun to play, and they just keep adding more to it. So even if it is quote unquote like the same thing every time, it
Yeah.
feels kind of fresh.
Well, yeah, they add weapons, which are like a significant addition. Like a weapon in Monster Hunter is not adding a gun to Call of Duty. It's like a whole new game almost that gets
Right,
added.
yeah.
And they add new mechanics and stuff in each game. Like they're not literally exactly the same in the Call of Duty FIFA sense, where you're buying a game that has no meaningful changes from the previous one. There's new monsters, there's new environments, there's a story, which I guess Call of Duty has. There's always a little something to make it different from the previous one, and to give you a reason to go back to them. A lot of the previous Monster Hunters are worth returning to. There's no reason to return to like 80% of Call of Duty games, and there's no reason to return to any like Madden game except like I think there's one or two absolute standouts in there.
Yeah,
But you should just play those instead of the new ones.
right.
Yeah, and they're still $60 games. Every single
Yeah,
one.
well, so is Monster Hunter.
But the difference is Monster Hunter comes out once every 5 years or something, and
No,
Eh.
I'm talking about.
Less than that.
I am talking about even the backlog.
Yeah. Oh, really? They're still charging $60
Yeah.
for old Madden games?
Call of Duty, they are.
Yeah, Call of Duty, they are.
Let me double check. I'm looking up Call of Duty. Call of Duty 2003 is 220. Modern Warfare 2007 is 20. Black Ops is still a $40 game. It's 15 years old. That's crazy. Black Ops 2, 2012, it's $60 right now on Steam. Same with Ghosts.
That's crazy.
that's crazy. Yeah,
World at War is 20, which
Yeah.
2008, I guess.
The Monster Hunter games get cheap pretty quick. Wilds is actually 30 or 40 bucks right now. I think it's 30 on Xbox and 40 everywhere else right now for a sale.
but yeah, that is the difference, though, right? Like, if someone tells me they want to go back and play Monster Hunter World, I totally understand.
Oh, yeah.
right. Like you wouldn't even have to justify it. If someone came to me and was like, "I want to play Black Ops 3," I would just be like,
Why?
"What? Why?
Why would you do
know,
that?
like,
Yeah.
And mind you, right now, Monster Hunter World is $30.
Yeah.
Like, not even on sale. Just $30.
So I think it's my pick for always gets on base. I would every day of the week I would rather play the worst Monster Hunter game than the worst Zelda game, I think. But if I'm picking the best game in the franchise, that's not as true. Probably.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to bring Mass Effect to this table. I think Amit did too.
Yeah.
And
You only have the
there
one
is-
bad game, right?
Yeah, there's only one
Yes.
bad game.
That's
Yeah.
a seven.
The
That's
first
a
three
75%
games are-
hit rate.
Yeah, the
But
first three games are.
it's the latest
fantastic.
game, though. I feel like
Yeah.
at
And
that point
probably
we
the
crashed
final
the train. Yeah,
I can't bring Elder Scrolls to the table either because the whole franchise is kind of all over the place.
It is really, Elder Scrolls, because Skyrim being called the Elder Scrolls V is kind of crazy because it's really the third game in a series in my mind.
Yeah.
Which is Morrowind, Oblivion, Skyrim. Like the first two are just not the same at all.
I mean, Persona comes to mind in a similar way, right? Persona
Oh, yeah.
1 and 2 are kind of very different games than modern Persona,
Yeah.
which 3, 4, and 5. Which, if we're talking about consistency,
Yeah, Persona is
mean,
really good.
Persona,
It doesn't have the
Persona's not a
volume
consistent
of like
series.
of the others we've talked about, but yeah,
like
Persona is
if
an
the
instant buy
Persona
for me.
umbrella you're considering like all the spin-offs too, then yeah, there's arguments to be made. But
Oh,
if we're
true,
just talking
yeah.
about the
I can't
core
even-
like mainline Persona games, those don't miss
Yeah.
at all.
Speaking of Elder Scrolls, did you see that Todd Howard has said that the Elder Scrolls 6 is not coming anytime soon?
No, yeah, I saw that. I was just like, oh,
Shut up,
it's
Todd.
a good thing you announced it like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Then, right?
I
It's
think
just like
at
why?
this point it has been 14 years. Since
Yeah,
the Elder
since Skyrim,
Scrolls-
yeah.
Do you think
Skyrim
there's
came
any
out.
chance that they started over after Starfield flopped?
Perhaps,
No,
honestly.
dude, I think they didn't even start until Starfield finished. like I'm pretty
possible,
sure.
yeah.
I don't even
that,
think
like,
they've started on it yet.
yeah, so like I feel like they're starting on it now because Starfield is out and the expansions are out or whatever.
Yeah, and even then, I don't know if Starfield's getting any continuing content. They're kind of cagey on that.
I just
other
don't know, like-
franchises. GTA. Does GTA have that consistent good to it?
I feel like it does, but we're not the right audience to
Yeah,
ask
I
about
ca- I
that
just
because
can't
none of
talk
us are
about
into
it, yeah.
GTA. I will
Like,
say,
I played
I
3.
think, and I know I'm gonna get jumped for this by Connor, but I think Red Dead is shockingly consistent.
It's only
I
got
think
2
1
games.
and 2.
It's only got 2 games.
It's only got 2 games,
no, it
but
has
those
3.
2
It
games.
has 3.
Huh?
Red Dead Nightmare does
It's
not
3.
count. That's a DLC.
Oh, okay, Red Dead Revolver. You're talking
Yeah, Red
about,
Dead
like,
Revolver.
Oh, I've
but
never
but
even heard of
Rockstar didn't make that, right? I thought that was someone else.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure Red Dead Revolver.
But I
was
I would
like-
agree. No, Red Dead is extremely consistently slop.
Funny.
No, it was Rockstar. Rockstar did Red Dead Revolver.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Huh. Well, I don't know anything about Red Dead Revolver, so I might have to retract
I just don't think a 2 game, like, I think we got to say you have to at least hit the trilogy point because I don't want to talk about The Last
That's
of Us
fair.
here. Like,
that's fair. Well,
Yeah, you
I was
gotta
gonna
at least
say-
hit 3 games.
Last of Us 1 and 2,
they're good.
immaculate.
They're great.
Uncharted's
Yeah.
1
Okay,
through
okay.
4,
Uncharted
There
is
have been
and it's finished. So
There's-
it's-
goated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there have been enough Last of Us releases to consistently say that they're a consistently good game because you've had Last of Us 1, Last of Us 1 Remastered, Last of Us 1 Remake, or what was it? Last of Us Chapter 1 is what they called
Part
it?
1, yeah.
Part 1.
yeah.
So that's 3 games already. They're all the same game. And then Last of Us Part 2 and Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, I
Yeah.
think.
Yep, that's right.
So there's 5 games in the Last of Us series, but there's only really 2 games. And this doesn't make any sense unless you're a Kingdom Hearts fan.
If you're brave enough to fold in Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring, I think you've got a
Oh, yeah.
contender.
I mean, that's
for-
like a
yeah.
generational.
That's
But I would
yeah.
still say Dark
That's a
Souls 2
reach.
is like such a low point. Dark Souls 2 is probably still a 7 though.
Dark Souls 2, yeah, Dark Souls 2 being a low point to me, I think is not really a factor
Yeah.
here because it's like a low point, but it's still like better than most games.
Yeah,
I
it
would
is.
say. So-
I don't think I'm brave enough at this point to put all the Soulsborne games into one franchise.
That's
because
fair.
they are all so like they share the same base layer mechanical thing, but like tell me what's similar about Sekiro and like
See, I wouldn't
Dark
include
Souls
Sekiro.
thematically.
Sekiro is different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sekiro
And
is
same
for
with
sure different.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne, no,
Bloodborne's
Bloodborne,
pretty
I would,
similar.
it's pretty similar.
Similar
It-
mechanically, it's
it
similar,
makes
but it has
different.
different
yeah.
themes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark. I think even if we just look at Dark Souls, like I think that's a shockingly
Yeah.
consistent
It's a
franchise,
killer
even with
trilogy.
2.
Yeah.
Even Elden Ring, you can't like thematically connect to any of the other games.
It's got the Moonlight Greatsword actually. So,
That's about it.
Actually?
That's callbacks, but it's
so
like,
so does Bloodborne. I'm
it-
pretty sure. So
Yeah, every single game does.
the Moonlight
I think, except for
Greatsword trilogy,
Sekiro.
the Moonlight Greatsword franchise.
but none of them are connected in any way. They're all base level mechanical similarities, but that's it. They each stand as their own kind of games.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I want to talk about Mario for a second because
Yeah.
Mario. This was actually really common. This happened to Zelda too. Mario hit it out of the park with his first entry, and then had an oddball
black sheep.
second entry.
Yeah.
But I think it fared better than Zelda or like Castlevania in this because the NES version of Mario 2 I actually think is still pretty fun.
Oh, the Mario 2 we got here was actually
Yeah,
a
it
reskin.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Pika.
The actual
Doki Doki Panic.
Doki Doki Panic. The actual Mario 2 was just more Mario.
Yeah,
It was
and-
just more of Mario 1 but harder.
And it was very hard, yeah. But then
So-
Mario 3 is like an all-time great. And then you have Super Mario World, also an all-time great. Yoshi's
Yeah.
Island, I'm going to count it because they called it Super Mario Bros. 4, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island is what it was called. So you're
Yeah.
on like a generational run
Of 2D Mario games.
of 2D Mario games. And then you don't make any for like 10 years. And then
Well, they got distracted by 3D, I guess.
the third
And
dimension.
even these are good.
Yeah, those are also incredible. I don't know if I want to count them as. I guess that's one franchise. All the 3D games are excellent. But then 2006 rolls around, or was it 04? you get a little game called New Super Mario Bros. And it's good. Everybody likes it. And it is the death of this franchise for the next like 20 years.
Oh my god. New Super Mario Bros. 2, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. DS2.
And none of them are bad per se, but like if
just
you've
the
played
same
one,
game.
you've played them all. They're like
They are all fundamentally the same game. I think New Super Mario's Wii and New Super Mario Bros. Are actually just the same game.
So
But
the
Wii is
sense I
multiplayer.
get, the sense I get as primarily a 3D Mario guy who doesn't really mess with the 2D stuff too much is that after they jumped to 3D, 2D became an afterthought until recently.
I think
Right?
so
Like
too.
obviously
Yeah.
it's starting to change, like with Wonder and everything.
2D Mario
but-
has always sold better though.
Really?
I'm pretty sure all the new Super Mario Bros. Games sold like hotcakes because they hit a much more casual market. A 2D controller is just much easier to work with. That may not be true up
I'm
to
just
Odyssey.
curious.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah,
looking up the
Audius is
numbers,
at like roughly 30 mil worldwide,
yeah,
which
look up like New
which
Super
is
Mario Bros.
huge.
Wii sales numbers to compare that against.
New Super Mario Bros. U.
No, Wii,
Wii?
not
Is
you.
Wii?
Wii, U is a bad one because it was on the Wii U. Look up Wii.
Oh, it's also 30 million. Interesting.
Okay, I think if you look at 3D Mario before Odyssey, it's not quite hitting those numbers.
No, for sure.
So yeah, so 2D Mario was always like a super strong seller, and I think it was kind of in that Pokemon area. Not as bad as Pokemon. We'll talk about Pokemon in a minute. But it didn't have to do that much to sell really well. Like people are gonna buy a 2D Mario, especially like at this point you've got people that grew up playing it that now have kids that want to play it with their kids, and you're putting out multiplayer ones. And it's also like a really strong first video game. Any 2D Mario is just it's very approachable, but like difficulties there if you want it in most of these.
Okay,
sort of.
There were 6 new Super Mario Bros. Games.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
It's too many. It's way too many.
Released over like a 5-year span from 2006 to 2013 if we're counting Super Luigi U.
and I would like call myself a Mario fan. I would call myself a 2D Mario fan. Even I love Super Mario Bros. 3. I just don't want to play these things. Like,
Yeah.
none of them are bad.
And as someone
but-
who's kind of an outsider for 2D Mario, I look at these games and I don't know which ones are new games, which ones are
Right.
like remasters. Like I assumed U was just like a remaster of the Wii game, but apparently it's a new game.
It was a new game, but then it got remastered for Switch, and it's like New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's right.
And that one probably sold pretty well.
Confusing.
Yeah.
Very confusing.
But then like the 3D Mario, you've got 64, you've got Sunshine, which is the black sheep, but like I love Sunshine. I'm not going to hear otherwise. Then you got Galaxy 2,
Galaxy
both
2,
bangers. And then you've got 3D Land, 3D World, which at the time I was a little mad about 3D World, but in retrospect I think it's an amazing game. And then you get Odyssey, which is just phenomenal.
Enough said.
Yeah.
And then Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury is also phenomenal. I'd love to see them build on that formula, but we haven't yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead we got Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I'm not convinced, like even though it was made by the Odyssey team, I have an inkling they're also working on a Mario game, because it would
That'd
just
be
be
crazy. Yeah.
weird to me, like to have basically if this took the place of a 3D Mario game, we're waiting another 5 to 8 years for 3D Mario, and that doesn't feel right.
I suspect Bonanza was done 2 years ago.
Had to-
Like or very close to it. I think
held for the
Bonanza's
Switch
been
too.
done
Yeah.
a long time.
That could make sense.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
we might be waiting 3 years for a 3D Mario or something like that.
Yeah.
Do we
You
wanna
brought up
talk about-
Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon.
And I think that's an interesting one to discuss, because if we're looking at finances, like cultural cachet, like all of these things.
it's the most important
I mean,
franchise ever. Yeah.
Pokemon's the king, right? Nothing else beats Pokemon. But like, I think it is this disconnect between people who are like more dialed into video games, like versus the casual audiences. Because I don't think the casual audiences care at all, right? They will
Yeah.
keep eating up the same game released over and over again from Pokemon and love it, right? Like, but people who kind of are more into the video game space that play a lot of different kinds of games, right? Like people like us, I guess is what I'm saying,
Yeah.
are
Very critical
able to
of
see
Pokemon.
the potential of Pokemon and are increasingly frustrated with the lack of reaching that potential?
I experience both ways because I've worked with people. I dated a Pokemon fan, like a severe Pokemon fan for a little bit.
Pokemon fan.
Yeah,
clinical.
Yeah, clinical. And they really, really liked the games a lot. And it's like, why though? Because they're not good.
I mean,
It kind of reminds me of like the Disney fan, right? Like,
yeah, like they just buy.
I feel like there's a significant overlap there.
It's the same overlap as like Call of Duty fans who every year, because as Source and Point, my ex would always say that like Scarlet Violet was bad.
There's some Stockholm syndrome.
I guarantee you, she'll still buy the next Pokemon game.
Okay,
same with
yeah,
like Call of Duty people.
Yeah, I was gonna say like my next door neighbor was telling me he says every year that he's not gonna buy the new Call of Duty, and then it comes out anyway. And he buys it day one.
He buys it day one. They plays it, and then like a week later, he's like, "I hate this game," and then 3 months later, he has 200-300 hours into this game.
I don't know.
I just think
it doesn't matter.
I just think with both Call of Duty and Pokemon, there's just too much social pressure.
Yeah.
You're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're wherever on social media, and like you see Pokemon everywhere, right? You see like Call of Duty everywhere, and it's just like there is this like social pressure to these two franchises in particular.
And there's also just the fact that they did used to make decent games, like
they made fantastic games.
Pokemon Red through when was the last go? Probably X and Y was the start of the end of quality with Pokemon, I would say. And so like that was nearly 20 years of excellence.
Right when they jumped to 3D, really.
Yeah. Well, what sucks is it's not even the jump to 3D that got them, in my opinion. Like the performance and stuff aside, all that stuff is horrible. But modern Pokemon games are not mechanically good. Yeah. Like they don't have the sauce that they used to have, which is the Battle Tower, the Battle Frontier, these in-game things that give somebody something to like really sink their teeth into and actually enjoy the mechanics of the game. The game's over before you ever have to do that. Now.
Those late game things like the Battle Frontier and the Battle Tower, those are scaled as if they were like actual real people who grinded this Pokemon up. They aren't just like one-off challenges. These are like EV trained monsters.
Yeah.
That are designed to test your team.
Yeah. I loved when Pokemon included that as a default, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want that, you have to go through like ROM
play
hacks,
people.
basically.
Yeah, and that's just
or you just have to engage in online play.
And to be clear, maybe I'm a consumer cuck here. I'd pay for it. I'd buy it as a DLC because like I bought Pokemon Emerald. That was the first Battle Frontier I ever played. I didn't mind paying for it back in the day.
Well, it also comes down to, and I think we've discussed this before, how like Game Freak executives see Pokemon, right? Yeah. Like the increased like babyfication of Pokemon, the increased tutorialization.
But I was 7 when I was doing this stuff.
Right, exactly. But the assumption that modern kids can't do anything, right? Like that's why Pokemon has been dumbed down so much.
That is an overarching theme in like AAA development. Is that like you gotta cut the grain, you gotta cut the crunch out of things because people don't like crunch. They just want things to be as streamlined and smooth as possible. And I'm glad there is a push right now in the gaming space to bring the crunch back to gaming. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later with the game I've been playing or started playing. But it's bad. Like Pokemon used to be kind of crunchy.
Yeah,
it used to be a little bit of like.
So what do you mean by crunchy? I'm curious.
Systems that require you to engage with them.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
Say like Baldur's Gate is a crunchy game.
Like you had to EV train.
Yeah. Right.
And now you have like super training. You have like all this stuff that basically does it for you in modern Pokemon.
Right. And I'm sure like a lot of people would chalk that up to like quality of life fixes, right? But I'm not so sure about that, right? Like I felt because like in earlier games, I did go through the grind of like I'm gonna hatch like 1 billion Charmanders, and I'm going to get one with perfect IVs and train it up with perfect EVs, and it felt very satisfying doing that. Like, granted, it took like dozens of hours, but it felt rewarding to get that after putting in all that hard work. And now all that's been cut so drastically, it just doesn't feel as rewarding anymore.
And like Switch training you don't have to do Switch training anymore because they just XP all.
Yeah, that was a huge. I was very upset at that
training.
Yeah,
you can't even turn off XPL in the newer games, right?
Nope, you can't.
You can. Switch training's dead. No one, kids these days just don't know how to switch train. They'll never know because you've taken.
But that's the thing, right?
Out.
Like Pokemon, it seems to be more popular than ever. So I think these decisions, maybe we're just not the target audience anymore, right? Like the kind of simplification of Pokemon has made it way more mainstream, it seems.
Yeah.
They could still make a good game.
Yeah, they,
they still
I
could,
mean, they
yeah.
gotta. I wish they'd pump more budget into it. These games deserve more budget. Pokemon deserves more money in their dev budget to actually make like a good game, because we know the Switch was capable of doing good things. I mean, it did Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
The Switch 2 is more than capable of doing a fantastic job with the game, with an open.
But we'll
world
get our
game.
ray
And,
traced Pokemon at 11 frames per second.
Yeah, Pokemon.
Well,
just
I don't
doesn't
know.
want to do it.
Not to defend them here,
I
but
know
their
that,
track
yeah.
record on Switch 2 so far is pretty good.
They haven't
Granted,
made
they're
a
all
game
Switch 1
for
games.
Switch 2
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess the jury's still out, but
Yeah.
like they be using that
But
DLSS.
I will say I would rather an ugly, well-performing Pokemon game, even if that well-performing is like a locked 30.
Give me a sprite game. Give me.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
I would do anything for Pokemon to go
like,
back to sprites.
Black and white sprites were some of the most
They're gorgeous.
well done sprites in all of 2D gaming.
If they did like an HD pixel art, like a lot of like what indie games are doing,
HD 2D Pokemon.
HD 2D
Oh my
Pokemon.
God.
Get out of here. That would be unbelievable.
That would be the ideal game, because those sprites were very like
incredible.
you could barely tell they were sprites.
And
You
performance
That's an
almost thought they were models.
insane idea, and I can't believe I've never thought of that. Like with the
Yeah.
HD 2D like Dragon Quest games,
Yeah.
an HD 2D Pokemon game, my word,
It would be amazing.
I would be all over that.
But I
They're
actually think it
kinda-
would be more expensive to make. 3D models are actually like cheaper to animate. A lot of the 3D pipeline, once it exists, is cheaper to do.
Right.
Because
If
they'd
they
have to make
ever
all new
do-
sprites. They'd have to make new sprites for every Pokemon because they
Yeah.
don't have any HD sprites.
Because
But my God, those first 5 generations,
right?
What was that?
Sorry,
Mike?
what was that, Mike?
I don't think they're going to do any more remakes, because I think Shining Diamond, Brilliant Pearl was the
Oh,
last
I'm
one
sure they
kinda
will.
did.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
Don't underestimate
I
them.
guarantee we will at least get another Gen 1 remake on the
Oh,
Switch
for sure.
too.
Oh my
Undoubtedly,
God. I am okay. I am feeling Gen 1 fatigue, because honestly, even as someone who really adores the Kanto region, I'm sick of it.
Yeah, me too.
Dude,
Give
and
me-
this is where I will deviate from you guys. I'm a Gen 1er. Give me all the Gen 1 remakes. Give me all the
Pokemon
nostalgia.
are
I'll
good.
fall for it each time.
Me and my roommate were actually having a Pokemon conversation the other day, and we were talking about how like Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon are they're all really okay.
They're good, yeah.
But Gen 3, like every single Pokemon
watch
in that
yourself.
generation is
You
so
watch your mouth.
good.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah, no, like they're iconic. I was going through. I'm like, yeah, like none of these.
It's
Pokemon
because of
were bad.
we're all in the same age bracket, so we all think Gen 3 is good. Right?
No,
If we
I-
had someone 5 years younger, they would be glazing Gen 4.
If I could
Yeah.
That's
get
just how it goes with Pokemon.
if I could get my dream Pokemon game, it's a good remake of Gen 3.
Of Gen 3, because those Pokemon are iconic, and just like the thematics of them, they had a lot of bold ideas with like what a Pokemon was at that period, because they were messing around with abilities at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't think the trash bag Pokemon is iconic?
We're talking about it.
I think that was the point where they added a trash bag, was Game Freak openly admitting that it was going to be trash afterwards. Just put the Pokemon's legends in the Trubbish and get it over with. Like,
Trubbish, yeah. But you did bring up a good point, Connor. We
We're
are
talking
talking about it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
they did something right.
those like I just keep thinking about Shedinja and the fact that it was like one of the weirdest evolutions you could get.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I fell in love with the secret bases
Yes.
in 3.
Such a fun
I remember
mechanic.
with the wireless link,
Yeah.
just exchanging information with so many friends and having all their secret bases in my world.
You could like
It
battle
was
them too, right?
So much fun.
In the
yeah.
secret base. Yeah, that was super
Gosh, I loved it.
fun.
And
Any
then
final notes on
finding
final notes on
Rayquaza just-
Pokemon? Anybody?
Ugh.
Well, I
peak
think
already
we're
a
just.
lot.
I feel
Peak
like we're just
franchise.
old men, right? Like
Yeah.
looking back
Honestly,
and
I can admire
wishing
everything
for
up until
better
they
days.
jump to 3D. Like Black and White's beautiful. They're
yeah, but
beautiful
like
games.
I don't know, man. Like I
And
just
it's-
don't know, right? Like I feel like we're just old men screaming at clouds.
Listen,
sometimes,
Black
you
and
know,
White 2
when
is
it comes to
also the
Pokemon.
only game that puts you in the role of someone who wasn't a 10-year-old.
It does have the stupidest decision in any video game I've ever seen, though, which is that I think it's one of them has a hard mode, one of them has an easy mode, and you have to beat the game to unlock easy mode.
Wait, what?
And black and white?
I forget which one it is. It's either black and white or black and white 2. And there is an easy mode, but in order to unlock it, you have to beat the Elite Four.
That's
to unlock
crazy. I
easy
love
mode.
that.
And the other one is a hard mode. Like, I think it's black is hard mode, white is easy mode. And in order to unlock hard mode, you have to beat the Elite Four.
What a social commentary on
Yeah.
that one, actually.
That's real. Yeah.
That's real. Whoa.
I might have it backwards, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And,
No, I like to imagine it more as a social commentary by a Japanese game company that has no idea what these things mean in American parlay.
I mean, you guys know South Park actually
did that, yeah.
which was hilarious.
That was
Dude, those were
actually
actually
so
really
funny.
good games.
Yeah.
South Park, Stick of Truth, and The Fractured Butthole.
Dude, that reminds me of Ratchet and Clank. That's another franchise that gets on base. Like,
yeah, even the
it's
future
very-
games were good.
It's quite consistent, right? It's
Yeah.
not like
There are a couple
I would say,
stinkers.
like,
I would
Each
say it's
game
like
is-
Monster Hunter level consistency.
I think if you average them, they average out to good,
Yeah.
right? Like to very good, right? Like there's no Ratchet and Clank game that I play that I'm like, this was a 10 out of 10 experience.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
gets
but
on
they're
base.
all
It's like a
like
7 or an
very,
8.
very solid
I
games. yeah.
really liked, like, I think my favorite of like the original trilogy was either 2 or 3. I really liked 3 a lot. I played 3 a bunch, but 2 was really interesting. The only bad game in the original trilogy is unironically Ratchet and Clank 1.
Yeah.
And that's because they don't have any of the features they introduced in 2 in it.
That's
that
just how
made the
games
game
were back then.
actually bearable. Yeah.
You had to get an
'Cause one-
engine out there with a game attached to it, and then you
one
could
was
like make a good game.
practically one was probably the hardest game I've ever played in the Ratchet series because of all the things that I used in later games to actually make the gameplay useful didn't exist.
Yeah.
It's unbelievably difficult if you ever go back to play it.
So on the trend of Sony franchises, now that you've got me thinking, God of War, right? The
Yeah.
original trilogy followed by the duology. Those are the mainline God of War games. Banger after banger after banger after banger after banger.
I think the PSP ones were pretty good too.
Yes, I think basically almost all the God of War games, with the exception of Ascension on PS3,
Yeah.
were fantastic. Right, so there's like one kind of black mark there, but like an extraordinarily consistently great.
I was thinking
franchise.
of Spyro as one that's interesting, not one that's consistently good. Spyro had that incredible trilogy and then just completely fell apart afterwards.
That seems to be like a common like trend for a lot
Crash
of 3D
only did a little
mascot
better.
platformers, right? Like, well, in the sense that you get this trilogy for these platformers, and then everything afterwards is just garbage,
Yeah.
right? Like the same thing happened with like Jack and Daxter, right? Like
I didn't know they
and,
got further games.
Well, Jack, yeah. So you got Jack 1, Jack 2, Jack 3, and then you got Jack X, which was a racing game that was actually pretty fun.
Okay.
And then you got another Jack and Daxter game that was made by someone other than Naughty Dog called Jack and Daxter Lost Frontier, and that was garbage.
I didn't even know that happened.
Right. So,
I
yeah.
mean, they kept trying to bring Spyro back. They did like Spyro Lost Legacy, I think it was called. They did I mean, Skylanders, people liked it, I
Yeah,
guess.
Spyro went through
But
decay.
Spyro went
decay
through-
after
yeah.
decay
They-
after decay.
They tried everything. They brought him back as a beat 'em up. They brought him back as an action RPG. They brought him back
That's-
as a million
Dude,
different
3D
things.
platformers are good
Yeah.
for trilogies and not much beyond that.
Yeah.
It seems. Mascot platformers, I should
Yeah,
say.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
obviously.
unless you're Mario.
Yeah, Mario's an exception.
That's because Mario didn't decide to branch into beat 'em ups.
But Mario also never did a trilogy. I think
You never play Smash Bros?
true. I think it's really interesting that Mario never did a trilogy after the NES. Like, we never got a like. Can you imagine?
Galaxy 3.
Well, like 64 is coming out at the same time as like Spyro, and then they don't do a 64 2, a 64 3 when you're getting Spyro 2 and Spyro 3, and I think that's interesting.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Like, what if they did
always
just do volume on Mario? Because I think
Nintendo really. I'm trying to think, right? Like, they do it for some franchises like Metroid,
yeah,
right? But like, they're not very much of like a sequel
a numbered
not
sequel
kind of
yeah.
machine, right?
Also,
They're
Nintendo's not a company the Nintendo's a company that believes in the mantra: if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
They're not gonna
Well, it's
like
either-
radically change a game
Well-
if it keeps selling consistently.
I mean, look at Zelda though.
Skyward
Well,
Sword
that's-
sales
Skyward
had
Sword.
dwindled by Skyward
Yeah,
Sword.
it dwindled. They
Well, I
realized
guess
that
that's
it was
fair,
getting
right? Like,
stagnant.
if that's an interesting thought, right? Like, if Skyward Sword had performed really well, would we get Breath
I
of
don't
the
think
Wild?
so. I really don't think so.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Which is funny because the things that were wrong with Skyward Sword, it's not really the Zelda formula. It was a million other things.
yeah.
But I'm glad that
But I guess I'm
we got
glad.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to talk about Castlevania for a minute if we're at a lull.
Sure. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, 1 and 3 are really good. I think 2 is an interesting game because Castlevania 2 is probably the first Metroidvania Castlevania, and it's just a pretty poor implementation of it. But I don't think you get Symphony of the Night without Castlevania 2. And then you kind of split off, and you're getting good Castlevania on PlayStation with Symphony of the Night, bad Castlevania on N64, and then it's like all over the place after that. You're getting Symphony of the Night-esque games on the Game Boy Advance and on the DS and 3DS, and they're all like fine. They get on base. Some of them are excellent, but a lot of them are just okay. And then you're getting like really weird stuff like there was a fighting game. There was there were 2 games where you like it was like Legacy of Darkness or something where you play as Dracula on PS3, Xbox 360, I think. And
then it's just gone for a while. Right?
None of these games are like horrible, but a lot of them are not beloved, certainly not as good as the old ones. And then Konami just like decides they're not going to do it anymore, and it's just gone. Like there was no bomb that like ended Castlevania. There were no terrible games.
Well, you also have to think of Konami as an entity too, right? They sort of just shied away from video games altogether for the longest time, and are just now, really, in the past couple of years, starting to come back into that space. But they went all in on like gacha games.
Yeah, and it's sad. We lost a lot of great stuff in that.
I really think Castlevania seriously hampered by being tethered to Konami. Like if that IP went to someone else, we would be living in a different world.
Because Castlevania is just such a weird property to me, in that like it literally started with them using public domain characters. Like it's Dracula. It's the Mummy. It's like, you know, and like, but then like to me, like they added so much character to it that like these games that are doing similar stuff, like Iga's new company doing the Bloodstained games, they just don't hit the same. Like that property, that franchise actually it has the sauce that like
it does, yeah.
Like the name Belmont just means something to me now, and nobody else can do it. You couldn't like do Van Helsing. Van Helsing has nothing on Simon Belmont.
It is interesting that literally the guy who made it couldn't even do it, right?
I mean, to be fair, the games he's making are good, but they just don't have the sauce.
But they're not Castlevania. Yeah. Castlevania was something special.
It's very special. And I miss it. It's weird to even say I miss it because by the time I'd played it, it was over. Like there were no Castlevania games coming out by the time I played.
Konami is now active again in like the traditional video games space, so I feel like Castlevania can live again.
Yeah, so I really get like a bad remake or something. Cool.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
I have no faith in Konami. They're so horrible to their artists and everything. It's not like Igarashi's going back.
No, they're done. I gotta mention, kind of reminded me of Resident Evil. I think Resident Evil has a couple of very notable low points, right? So I don't think we can consider it in terms of like the most consistent franchise. But like, if you take those low points out,
anomalous data.
Yeah, anomalous data. But like, especially like after they started doing the remakes, I feel like that just took Resident Evil to another level entirely. And that's when I got into the franchise, actually, right? But like everything from like 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, like these are all.
I feel like 7 changed the game. Like
much fun to play. Yeah, they did. That was a big shift for Resident Evil. Yeah.
I might play 9. I'm getting hooked.
I'm excited for 9. Yeah, I'm very excited for 9.
I'm getting hooked. Also, like, Capcom does hair like really well. I don't know what tech they have, but Capcom hair looks good. I'm just thinking of the trailers and like Monster Hunter Wilds and stuff, and they do hair good.
They do
most everything good nowadays. Yeah. I feel like we have to mention, even though we're not fans really of this franchise, Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
one of the biggest franchises.
You don't get to 16 without being a pretty solid franchise.
And like I was gonna say, more than any other video game franchise that I'm not a part of, this is the one I've been like wanting to get into the most, right? Like I'm
As
like
someone who has played and knows people who have played them, no, they have not consistently been quality. And no,
Really?
no, there's been a couple.
Well, I think it's
stinkers.
fascinating.
Quite a
if
few.
nothing else, it's fascinating.
there's a lot of lows and a lot of highs, I think.
It's the highest numbered series that I know of, and you do not have to have played the old ones to get the new ones.
No,
like,
yeah, and
it's
I think
really
that's pretty
weird.
brilliant, right?
It's weird
The
that
fact
they do
they're
that.
all different.
See, people really liked 6, 7.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that liked 8 and 9. 10
15
was
is goated.
people like 10.
Yeah.
11, I believe.
People
was
hate
the
13.
MMO. Yeah, people hate 13.
Yeah.
People, 14's an MMO, and of course that's popular.
People love 14. Yeah.
15
I
was
think
divisive,
15
actually.
15 and 16
Yeah.
were both divisive. So
15 and 16 were
16
both
looks so
divisive
bland to
games.
me.
well, I don't know. Like it was weird because like it felt like 16 was like a reaction, like a course correction
Yeah.
from 15, because like it was like went in the total opposite direction where it was like, you know, kingdoms and fantasy again rather
Yeah.
than like 4 dudes driving on,
Yeah,
like
I
in a
mean,
car through the
Give me
countryside.
a 4 dudes driving game. Oh my god.
So-
I
People,
love that
and
game.
But,
people
like-
really cling on to 7 as being one of the best in the franchise.
They do, yeah.
But
and-
I say 6 is fantastic. Was probably one of the best ones.
Have you
Yeah.
played 6?
Yeah, 6 was the one with
Yeah, I hear 6 is like the best as well.
Kefka.
I
yeah.
have 10 in my wish list on Steam because people keep comparing it to
Claire Obscure, yeah. That piqued my interest too. I do think it is only a matter of time before I properly dive into Final Fantasy. And I did get the Final Fantasy Tactics remake, and I've been playing it a little bit here
Yeah.
and there because I hear that's like the greatest tactics game of all time.
Yeah.
So, tactics style game, right? Like the thing Fire Emblem kind of made into its own. But yeah, Final Fantasy, it's so fascinating to me because I'm an outsider and I look in on that. I'm like, I want to get into this, right? Like I just don't know when or where to start really.
Yeah.
You can start anywhere.
Yeah.
Start with any
Yeah,
game.
Yeah,
anywhere
you-
you
I
want.
could start
Just-
anywhere,
Just
yeah.
play the bangers.
My
yeah.
personal favorites, I really liked 4. 4 is the only one I really played all the way through, other than 15.
Yeah, I hear good things
The early
about
ones
4.
are shorter
Um,
too, aren't they? Like
6 is one of the ones that people like a lot.
Well, shorter, like
shorter's good.
I don't know. I guess it's all relative, right? Because
Yeah.
even short Final Fantasy games, I feel like are 30 plus
No,
hours.
I don't think so.
7's like a 100-hour game, I do believe.
I think the early the original 6 Final Fantasy games, I think they're closer to like 10, 15-hour games.
No, they're not.
They're not?
They're definitely not.
No.
Yeah. I know 4 and 6 are much longer than that.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
double check time to beat, but I believe 4.
I think 4 is like a 40-hour game.
Hold on.
Because I've done this research before.
Yeah.
Because
How
I'm
long is
always
Final
curious
Fantasy
about Final
4?
Fantasy.
Maybe I'm thinking of
Completionist 27 hours.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah.
4 is shorter then.
Okay,
Yeah.
that
4
must
is
be the one I
shorter.
was thinking of. Because I would not do completionist. It'd be a 20-hour game for me.
6 is definitely longer than that,
Yeah.
from what I remember.
6 is Super NES as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 completionist is 55 and a half hours.
Yeah, that's more in line with
What's
what I was
mainline?
33 and a half.
Okay. So I was a little right.
Main plus side's
Yeah.
about 40 and a half hours. So it's about a 40-hour game.
Yeah.
Final
I'm not
Fantasy
gonna
7,
I don't know about you guys.
believe.
When I go retro, I do not 100% them typically. It's very rare.
Okay, Final Fantasy 7 is 36 hours main story. Completionist is almost 80.
That's so long.
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. And then if you go like Final Fantasy 7 Remake, each of them are 80-hour games.
Yeah.
So,
They
three
took one
80-hour
80-hour
games
game and
to
split
play
it into
Final Fantasy
3.
7. Who's got time, man? Who's got time for that?
Not me.
I don't know.
The
gotta make
leisure, and that's if you're like middle of the road. The leisure pacing for 7 is 125 hours for main plus extras.
Yeah.
Almost 300 for
Dude, I
completionist,
just didn't think
apparently.
maybe this is a little naive, but I just didn't think they made RPGs that long back in the day.
Yeah.
I felt like the longer games were kind of a modern thing, but maybe that's just ignorance.
I mean, I think it's part of the reason people loved Final Fantasy so much.
Yeah. All right. What else? Any other franchises we want to shout out? Halo. Halo was cool for a little bit.
Didn't play
but
it.
I feel like there's more bad games than good games.
Yeah,
at this point.
it's getting out
Yeah.
of
For Halo.
control.
Yeah, I don't really know what the point of all this was. I think I just wanted to talk about these a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, if you had to give your favorite franchise, you already said Monster Hunter, right?
Yeah, I
Connor?
gotta go Monster Hunter probably. Yeah.
Favorite franchise?
I can't say anything because they all have stinkers now.
Yeah,
You can. It's okay to have stinkers in your favorite because, like, if it wasn't Monster Hunter
this
for
is
me,
your
it'd be
favorite,
Castlevania.
right? It's your favorite, not necessarily objectively the best. My favorite, I would probably go with Uncharted. I love
Yeah.
Uncharted so
I
much.
mean,
You're so safe in Uncharted too because it's like
I
safe.
have to go
It's
with
not-
the one
There's
that I
no
got.
new games
one,
coming,
like,
so it's like
I have
Oh,
to
yeah,
go
I
with
see
the
what you're
one I
saying,
have
yeah.
on my body. I have to go with Mass Effect. I don't think legally,
That's fair.
legally
fair.
Yeah.
speaking, I can go anywhere else.
yeah, super fair.
God, what I wouldn't give for Mass. There are so many things I would trade
I
in
would
this industry
sell.
in exchange for Mass Effect being like
I would
dominant
sell
again.
my organs for a good Mass Effect game. Okay,
I know,
Like,
right, dude?
put
Take
it
a
on the
second food
market.
allergy.
I'll fund it.
I
will
would.
fund
No,
Mass
no.
Effect 4 with my kidneys. I don't care. BioWare, hit me up. I'll sell you my kidney for Mass Effect 4.
Well, it's not the issue of Mass Effect 4 being made. It's the issue that it's
needs to be
probably going to
good.
get made and
Yeah.
be terrible.
Yeah, for a good.
We'll
if
see.
If they make it good, I'll sell EA my soul. I don't care.
Move to Saudi Arabia.
Oh my god, I will move to Saudi Arabia if there's a good Mass Effect game.
I don't
Yeah.
think you should
If
do
I-
that, Mike.
I will literally change everything about me. You will see me if the next Mass Effect game is ideal and perfect. I will literally change everything. That flag will get changed to the Saudi Arabian flag. I will convert religions. I will become devout. I do not care. Give me a good Mass Effect game.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I get it, man. I get it.
I'll
I
shut
really do.
all my
Curls.
beliefs. God, I'm gonna have to change religions, aren't I? Oh no.
No, you
No.
won't because it's going to suck.
yeah,
It's
it's not
gonna
gonna
suck.
happen.
There's
Yeah.
no way.
All right. What are we playing?
Speaking, I was talking about Crunch earlier, and I guess I should start off by saying I bought Europa
Dude,
Universalis
oh.
5.
I was eyeing it. I feel like I honestly, I'm just intimidated by this game. I'm like,
Oh,
I'm too
go
stupid
B.
to play this game.
There B.
Like,
B.
honestly.
Oh my god, the fact that the developers included automation and automatic buttons for every single little thing in this game scares me.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
started playing as the Ottomans, and at some point I started looking at menus at like 3 a.m. and thought, I think I'm too stupid for this.
Dude, like it's frustrating.
It
Because
is
like I want to be able to talk about this game, but I literally just don't. I need to spend like a couple dozen hours
Yeah.
learning the mechanics
I think
before
that's
I
on
can
the
even
low
speak
end.
about
It is
and
if-
like
It is
Yeah.
if someone took all the general themes, the dynasty management of Crusader Kings, added the economy management of Victoria in there, and then slapped it on a map of 1337 Europe with the themes of colonialism that Europa Universalis had. It is nuts. The fact that I have to manage my economy, my army, my rulers' dynasties, all the while, right 20 years in, the Black Death kills half of my population.
dude, yeah. I mean the sense I get from this game just by watching videos about this is probably the most mechanically, like the most interlocking systems in a video game ever.
It is
Right, like,
insane.
ever. Like,
And
straight up.
This is again. This
It's
is a
crazy.
launch Paradox game. This is fresh out the oven Paradox game. Normally these are like bare bones. There is no bare bones.
Right, yeah. And so
I wasn't
like,
expecting 18 billion menus.
and you look at how many updates EU4 got over the years, and
Yeah.
you think this is the freaking starting point for
Oh,
EU5?
God.
Like,
It's
What
probably
is gonna-
just- I think it's just gonna be flavor though. I don't think there's many systems they might want to add. I don't think I'm not wanting for any systems right now, which is unusual
crazy,
for a
yeah.
Paradox game. Because usually I'm like, why isn't this a system? Why isn't this in the game? At this point, I'm like, why is this in the game? Why is this in the game? Why is this a system? Why do I have to manage my taxes of every individual estate and also the amount I'm spending on my palace? What is happening?
but yeah, the sense I get in this game is like you make the smallest change to like one system somewhere, and that has a cascading ripple effect on like 50,000 other things in your game.
it's
You know,
great. Like I'm not even like a couple hours in. I think I played it a little bit that night, and then I decided I played like 47 minutes of EU5. And I
Yeah.
saw it, and it was like 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, and I'm like, I
I'm
need
too
to go
stupid
to
for
I
this.
need to go to
Yeah.
bed. Like,
Yeah.
I saw the Byzantines were knocking on my door and thought I should go to bed.
I've honestly
It's-
been thinking about
complex.
playing Crusader Kings 3 as a sort of tutorial to get ready for EU5. Because like I feel
do
like
not really connect to each
well,
other that much.
well, I'm saying Crusader Kings 3 is a lot simpler, right? Like as a grand strategy game. Is it not?
It's not even like Crusader Kings 3 more rolls around with like dynasty management and setting up your kids and their kids to be you're basically
Okay.
playing generational wealth of the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay,
hoping that
so
you can
maybe that
set
was
your
a dumb
kids
idea
up.
then.
Yeah, I mean it's still a
I-
decent idea. The
Yeah.
systems are there in EU5, but EU5 there is an easy mode country and it's called the Ottomans.
Mm.
Because you start off really strong, it gets you free war goals on everyone around you, and you kind of just gobble up all of Anatolia and then take on the Byzantines, and at that point you are now in easy mode for the rest of the game, because historically speaking, the Ottomans at this point were at the peak of their power and very scary
Yeah.
if you were Europe. So
It
but
is
you
cool.
start in
Like
1337 with the Black Death about to happen.
I saw on the map that like it's obviously not just limited to Europe. You have like Chinese dynasties on there. You have Japanese.
It even
have-
simulates cyclones. That's the craziest part.
That's crazy.
It simulates hurricanes. Like they'll form on the map and just hit places randomly. They have
Yeah.
spots where they can start on the map, and then there's general areas where they're going to dissipate, but where in the area they dissipate is random. So you have to deal with cyclone season.
That's wild.
Dude,
That's
it's like in 5 years
nuts.
we find out that like humanity has created successful synthetic life and it's just like EU5.
A
Yeah.
robust like disease
Nah, it'll be
simulation
Dwarf
too.
Fortress.
Because I
Oh,
know I haven't gotten to where the Black Death starts, but I know there's really no way of stopping it, and you're gonna lose half of your population. Which is
Really?
historically relevant. I mean, that's what the Black Death did.
Yeah.
And it produces a challenge 25 years into your run, where now
That's
you suddenly have to recover from losing
Yeah.
half your population.
That's really cool. That's like
Yeah,
a
it is
wall
very
you're like
cool
guaranteed to
wall.
hit. Yeah.
And then if you're playing a native nation over in America, as soon as colonialism starts, you get hit with the Great Pestilence,
Yeah.
which is the Black Death, but American.
And it's just
can't-
you, right? Like your
it's
opponents are
just
not
you.
getting hit by it. Yeah.
It's not. It cannot spread past out of the old world, and it does not affect any European civilizations.
Well, it's got to be
It is
so
only
different,
natives.
right? Playing as like a native
Oh, yeah.
civilization in America, right? Because like for the majority of the game, I feel like your mechanics just have to be different, right? You're not like
yeah. You're secluded.
engaging with whatever all the craziness
you're
happening
just-
in Europe.
It's a lot of colonialism. It's a lot of colonizing the areas around you to expand instead of kind of fighting over already established land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm so ready to dive into this game, but I know it's gonna eat because I played.
How many hours? Yeah.
I have EU4
I know 5. How much have you gotten so far?
47 minutes.
Oh, so
I
you
played-
47 minutes.
Steam says
That's
I
crazy.
played 33 hours of EU4, which I don't think is
That seems
correct.
low.
I've probably played closer to about 100 something altogether, considering like at one point I was a poor person and could not afford it and did some things that are illegal. I own it now. I own all its DLC. I bought it eventually.
Yeah.
But between all copies that I've played, I've probably put 100+ hours into EU4.
I absolve you of your sins, my son.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought it. Don't worry. I usually, nowadays, I just buy the games. And EU5, I'm kind of glad I bought it because I was itching for a grand strategy set during like the Renaissance that I could really dig my teeth into.
Yeah.
But again, I'm gonna.
I
have
hope
to
my
manage
CPU is good
economy,
enough
so-
to run it.
Oops.
Is that a worry? Really?
This is a very CPU
Yeah, it does
limited
have
game.
economic management.
Hmm.
It ran pretty well early, but I mean,
Yeah, it gets worse as you go, right?
it does. It always gets slower as you go, but it's fine. I like what they did because this is the first EU game that uses pop mechanics, which groups like your population into these individual like interest groups and everything, like Victoria does. So when you send your population is actually simulated, not just a number that goes up and there's no like mana from EU4.
Mhm.
So when you go to send people to colonize, you're actually sending members of your population and decreasing population in certain regions to colonize somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just magical people appearing out of nowhere, and you actually have to worry about how much your population exists. Because EU4 was all about like three like numbers that go up that you could spend on various stuff. Basically, just a mana mechanic. There's none of that in EU5. There's no mana mechanics. Your military has to come from your population. Your population determines your economy. Everything's simulated based on that population and your pops. And you have to keep them all happy because they sit in one of like 4 interest groups. Either like the lower class peasants, the landowners, the nobles, the aristocrats, or whatever. And you can tax them all individually. Which is crazy.
Like an individual person.
No, like based on what group they're part of. Like if they're part of the clergy, you can tax the clergy more, the nobles, the burghers.
You can drill down to individual people, right? Is that true?
No, I don't think so. I haven't really
dove
in that much into depth. You might be able to, though. But it is so granular. It is so scarily granular. I was watching a video where the guy's entire goal was to take the entire population of England and send them at somewhere else. As the French. Like, just get rid of them. That's it.
That's funny.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So far, first impressions, I'm scared.
Yeah.
I have never been scared and daunted by a grand strategy game. And there is so little information on it that I am...
You're a braver man than me, then.
I'm brave.
Yeah,
I'm brave at this point.
I'm so interested in this game, but like you, I'm also scared for like multiple reasons. Like one, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm willing to spend the brain power it takes to fully understand this game. And two, if I do fully understand it, I don't want it to turn into another Civilization level addiction for me.
Right.
At this stage in my
will.
life.
I
feel like it has the potential,
I'm
strong
feeling the itch
potential
to go back
that.
to the Ottoman Empire and continue my conquest in Anatolia. But
It feels like the kind of game you haven't really experienced until you've like
a little anecdotal I'm played through though, because I've been so aggressive expanding into Anatolia as the Ottomans. Right now, the Byzantines and someone I really made mad by taking half their land want to team up and kill me.
Uh-oh.
And I might win that war. There's a possibility. I think I could stand up to the Byzantines because I've put enough of Anatolia under my boot that it might be doable.
Dude, it's crazy that all this has happened in 45 minutes of you playing this game.
Like it was, the Ottomans from the start of the game basically get a whole mechanic that says, yeah, you just get a free claim on a lot of their neighboring things in Anatolia for free, because that's what happened historically. Around this time they conquered all of Anatolia. By 1447, the Byzantines were gone. So I have about 100 years to conquer all of Anatolia and move my way towards Greece and the Balkans. So the game is giving me the keys to the historical path the Ottomans took, and is telling me, go for it. We're going to make it really easy for you. Yeah. Like I could go the Byzantines first.
That's a fascinating thing for me, like deviating from that path and then seeing like the chemical reaction that unfolds all over the world.
If the game wants you to, if history says that this happened, the game makes it really easy to do, and it's not going to fight you on it. The game is going to fight you if you decide to go a little crazy, but that's just
like
the nature
moving
of
everyone out of England.
Yeah, it's going to fight you a little bit. But there are, like, say, France and England are in the 100 Years' War. So during the 100 Years' War, until you resolve that, France can't take anything in England.
Mm-hmm.
So if you naval invade England, you can't take any territory there, regardless, until that war's over.
Yeah.
Once the war's over, you can start conquering England.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole goal of France during the 100 Years' War was to get England out of France and take the places that England owned.
Yeah.
Fascinating game.
God, it's such a fascinating game. There's so many nations I want to play as, and none of them are in the Asian area yet because those scare me.
So this is the whole world. Like
this is the whole world.
Is that traditionally true, or are the older ones just in Europe?
Europa Universalis, since it is based along the Renaissance, Age of Discovery, and colonialism. Yeah, it's been the whole world. EU4 was the whole world from the start.
Okay.
Because you
Okay.
need places to colonize. If you're playing
Yeah, that makes
Portugal,
sense.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're not going to be conquering any land. You're going to be sending boats out there and killing natives.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did historically. That's what you're going to do in your playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, EU4, right, like, was always one of those games I looked at, and I was just like, I'm going to get to this. I'm going to dive into this. But now it's been so long, EU5's out, so I feel like just bite the bullet.
EU4
Gotta go
is
5,
go in
yeah.
now.
Might as well get the new
Yeah.
one.
just go 5. I mean, EU4 is
Crazy,
cheaper,
man.
and then you can get the subscription and play it like a month, and then be chilling and drop the subscription. That is honestly the best way to play a Paradox game now, is to play one of the older ones that has the expansion subscription.
Yeah.
Buy it for like a month, binge the crap out of it for that entire month,
And then
and
be
then
done.
just drop the subscription.
Cold turkey. Yeah.
You don't have to buy any more DLC. You don't have to buy the DLC anymore. You could just pay like $6 and get all the DLC.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
didn't know
deal.
that was a thing. That's a cool.
I think it's EU4, Crusader Kings, and Hoi 4 all have like the expansion subscription. And Stellaris has it too. If you're interested in Stellaris, it has the expansion subscription.
Yep. Stellaris is probably the Paradox game I played the most.
It's such an interesting game too,
En-
but
enjoyed
it's so
Stellaris quite a bit.
radically different than what it launched
It is
at.
complete. Yeah.
And I do not like what's gonna come when they because when they start adding more mechanics to EU5, my brain might explode. Oh, good lord! I don't know what they could add. I have nothing right now that I could really warrant them adding, because it's already all there.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to ease myself into it by just watching a bunch of YouTubers play it first before buying it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Mind
Because
meld.
like I've never, like, unlike you, right? Like, I'm completely new to EU, right? So like you at least had 4 to really kind of build
It
off
didn't
of.
help. It did not help.
I mean, it's got to
know
help more
4
than
really
coming
well,
in completely
but
cold.
They've added so
Yeah.
much things that are different than 4, because it's a radically different game. They did
Does it
not,
like tutorialize well? Uh-oh. Oh my god.
What is
They're
happening?
getting
What
like
am I- oh, I'm back. Paradox was
back.
trying to take me out for some reason. Is it because is my
You're good
USB
now.
port dying? Yeah, I'm good now. I don't know what was happening there.
It's frightening.
the
For our audio listeners, we had a video issue.
yeah, my camera was taken out. The Paradox devs were trying to take me out for saying, "Oh, that's happening again."
Oh, now he's gone.
Yeah, it just killed it. Huh. I think my webcam just died.
All right, well, let's
Anyway,
just keep going.
next.
Carry on. I can go next. I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders.
Yeah, I keep hearing about this game online.
Did you pick it up?
Nope.
Uh,
Like,
I don't-
unfortunately, I was just like, it seems fun, but I just really don't want to talk to anyone.
yeah,
so
the
I'm
more
just
I
not
play
going
it,
to
the more
play it.
I'm not sure you would, because you don't like wearing headphones.
Nope.
And this is for sure a game you gotta wear headphones.
And I don't like talking to strangers. So
I don't either, but I do like shooting them when they talk to
Yeah.
me. I'm playing this game like as such a rat, which like I'm sure a bunch of Redditors are mad at me.
I think that's really fun. Yeah.
Because like what I do is I'm nice if somebody says like I'm friendly, don't shoot. I don't shoot them. Like I will like cooperate even. Like I'll save a guy from some robots. But if you have not said something to me and I catch you in a moment of weakness, I'm gonna blow your brains out and I'm gonna take your goodies.
Yeah.
Like I caught a guy got so mad at me this morning because I just walked into a room and like he was shooting out the window at some of the Arc. The AI are called Arc, and like the robots flying around. And he was shooting at some of those, and I saw him take one down. And then the second I saw that reload animation start, I popped him. Like just
I would have done the
took
same.
him down.
Yeah.
He hadn't noticed me, and he was cussing me. He was like, "You're such a like a million different slurs. No slurs per se, but like mean things to say about someone."
That's interesting. So even after they die, they can communicate?
You get downed, and you can still talk while you're downed, because when you're downed, somebody can use a defibrillator and bring you back. Like you can bring a stranger
okay.
back, which is going to be relevant to a story I'm going to say in a minute. But I knocked that guy out. He didn't have anything good on him, which makes sense. He wasn't very good at the game. But this game is like such a story engine, because you have all these people who have different goals. Like there's quests you're working on. There are trials. Like I have trials right now that are like, do this much damage to this type of arc, and you have to do that entirely within one expedition or one raid, whatever. And so like I might just be hunting hornets, which is like a little flying drone guy, but I'm gonna bump into people while I'm doing that, and those interactions are gonna be interesting. Do I cooperate with them? Do I shoot them? Do they shoot me? And anyway, I was like looting. I think this was today. I was looting, and I bumped into this guy, and he said hi to me, and I could just tell by his voice this guy was not afraid of me at all. Like he was kitted out. He had whatever he needed. He could kill me if he needed to. And I was just like, hey, man, how's it going? And he was like, oh, pretty well. I'm just looking for some dehumidifiers for my expedition, which is like an overarching long-term goal. And I was like, oh, I haven't found any. And he said, oh, yeah. And then he just casually drops like an epic tier, like pink item, which is like really good. And he's like, you can have this if you want. And I picked it up and I took it. And I just went about my day. And continued looting. I bumped into him again a few minutes. He like yelled my name. He was like, hey, I had a key. I unlocked this room that has a bunch of good loot in it. And I'm like, oh, cool. You know, this guy was nice. I go into the room. We're hanging out. I'm looting. I find a bunch of good stuff, some blueprints I didn't have. And then a third guy comes in. And this guy is also being nice. But like, of course he is. There's two of us. There's one of him. Like, yeah, he's going to have to be nice. But yeah, no issues. And anyway, that guy says he found what he needed. The guy who was kitted out, I'll call him my friend, and he's leaving, and the other guy says, oh, okay, I'll head out with you. And they walk out the door, and I just hear bang, 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 and I walk out, and my buddy's dead on the ground, or knocked out on the ground, and I pull out my anvil, and I just put this guy, this traitor, down like a rabid dog on the street. And he's on the ground apologizing to me. He's like, I had to do it. He had a quest to damage raiders or something. I had to do it, and I just like, sure you did. And I sent him back to Speranza.
Sure you did. Cap him in the head.
And I walk over to my friend who's down, and I don't have a defibrillator on me. And he says, I don't think you can check your map when you're down. He asked me to check a map and see where the closest escape is, because I guess he has a thing where if he sits still, he heals while he's downed. So he could theoretically crawl his way to the exit and get out still, even though I can't get him up.
That's crazy.
And he starts doing that, and I start hearing other voices, so I'm like, I have to defend this guy. Like, this is gonna be a Saving Private Ryan situation. And but awesome. No, I start to do that, and I tell him I'm gonna do that, and he says, no, man, you don't have to do that. And he just like surrenders, and I get all his gear too, and it ends up being my most profitable round ever because he had all this amazing stuff on him.
So I have a question. How much does the gear like matter? Like, presumably, right? Like, even if you have like the best gear in the world, if someone sneaks up behind you and shoots you in the head, right? Like, it doesn't matter.
In a fair fight, it matters a lot. If somebody sneaks up behind you and shoots you in the head, it matters, but not terribly. Like, it can be the difference between dying in one shot and not. So it can be the difference between having the chance to react. Whereas if you're in like the lowest tier gear, you're probably not going to get to react. It's stuff like your gun, like you might have an extended magazine, so you don't have to reload as much. The reload animations are very slow. It might be faster reload speed on your guns. The gear but some of the gear this guy had in particular, it let him carry more items. It was a looting kit that he had. It was the highest tier looting. So he could carry a ton of weight, and he had a lot of inventory slots. And also it had that benefit where you could heal if you sat still. So this was like some of the highest tier gear in the game, to my knowledge. And that's all really, really good. You know, that would save you. Like this situation, it could have saved him. He could have probably escaped this round if he'd gone for it. He decided not to, I assume because he can craft all of it. But it is kind of easy come, easy go. You're never so safe you can't be killed by a guy on a free loadout. So, but you can certainly like the gear that actually like makes you take less damage is maybe not amazing, but there's gear that's like barricades you can set up so that someone can't get into the room you're in, or door blockers so that they can't get into the room you're in, or mines you can lay down to like trap people and stuff. All that gear is extremely valuable.
I guess what I'm trying to understand is like how, like, I feel like the gear has to be valuable to incentivize people.
Yes.
To to play the game, basically, right? Like,
Yeah.
so there has to be some scenarios where you get something that's so good. It
I
basically
mean, you were
makes
at a
god.
significant advantage when you have the good gear.
Yeah.
You are, but gear is always loaned. Like, you're always at a risk of losing it.
Right. Because, like, there's no, like, you will die in this game.
You will,
right? So it's just
eventually.
like, do I want to bring my precious gear with me on this
I mean,
run?
yeah, this
or
guy,
whatever?
he had like amazing gear, and he died to somebody on a free loadout. You know, the guy had
Yeah.
nothing on him. So,
Right.
yeah, it's definitely like that. You do get to the point where it's kind of easy come, easy go. I'm kind of at that point now. There are a few weapons, like an anvil, which is like pretty much everybody's favorite gun. It's a pistol that shoots heavy ammo, so it's really, really good for taking out the arc. It's just really efficient for that. Everybody wants it. I can't craft it. I can buy 3 per day from the trader, and the rest I'm getting by killing people that have it.
Yeah.
Because I can't craft it. That is like the only item really in my loadout that's of any value to me, because I can't make another one. Everything else that I use typically, I'm usually using a looting Mark II augment so that I can carry more stuff. That's not terribly difficult to get. You know, I can craft. I have a lot of stuff in my stash now, like a lot of items I've done pretty well. So most of my gear, like if I die, I can gear back up pretty easily to like a satisfying amount.
Yeah.
But those anvils are tough to come by. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it is cool. Like, hearing you talk about this game reminds me a little bit of Helldivers, right?
Yeah.
And I know they're very different games, but similar in the sense that when you play this game, stories happen, right?
Yeah.
Like in Helldivers, when you play this game with your buds, right, you have these war stories
Yeah.
of like barely escaping alive and, you know, Malevelon Creek and all
Yeah.
those kinds of moments.
And I think what this game brings to the table is that it is really fun to play alone. It is really fun to play solo, and you
And
still
Helldivers
get
is
those.
not. Yeah.
And you get those stories from playing solo.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
No,
but
it certainly
you
seems
do,
like this.
like if you do
Sorry, go
play
ahead.
this and don't want to talk to people, you are putting yourself both at I'm going to shoot you. Like if you, I mean, you can emote and stuff, and if somebody emotes at me, I won't shoot them. But like, you're really just missing out on the experience if you don't have a mic
Yeah.
in this game.
I don't know. I'm still like on the fence. There's still a chance I buy and play this game with you.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. It does seem interesting.
We
I
would
just
need
don't
a
know if
third
it's like really
person.
my kind of game.
Because there's no duo queue right now. If you queue as it's one of the biggest flaws with the game. If you queue as a duo, you get put into the trios queue, and you're just at a huge disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you're solo,
But-
you only get queued with solos.
But I am kind of observing this game from the outside.
I mean, it's
And
a
it does-
remarkable thing. It has a higher player count on Steam than Battlefield.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say like this seemingly came out of nowhere and sucked all the air out of the multiplayer room.
Yeah.
right? Like everyone was expecting Battlefield to be the multiplayer game of the fall. It's definitely Arc Raiders.
All the streamers are
Oh.
playing Arc Raiders, which I think
Which
is
is
a little weird. 'Cause
fascinating.
I actually don't think it's a very fun game to watch. There's a lot of inventory management and a lot of
Yeah.
like sneaking that I don't think is particularly entertaining to watch.
So I saw like a Twitch notification go off, and I didn't actually watch it because I was busy. But like it said, it was Dan Giesling playing
Yeah.
Arc Raiders,
Oh,
and he
that's
said,
probably fun to
just,
watch.
I'm talking to random strangers, having conversations with random strangers in Arc Raiders.
That's
so like
probably-
you know, like
yeah.
that was good content.
That was
So,
probably great content.
yeah.
It's a really fun game. I do think this is the exemplar of the extraction shooter. Like you had these like really sweaty Hunt Showdown, Escape from Tarkov, these games that were like the people who really wanted to play this genre were playing that. This feels like the Fortnite, like to PUBG. Like this is the one that your normie friends are talking about. This is the one, this is the one that puts Marathon on suicide watch. Like, because that's what I thought Marathon was going to be. I thought Marathon was going to be the extraction shooter for the masses, and that is no longer an option for them. They have to do something unique now. They can't just do a polished, fun extraction
Well,
shooter
I guess-
for consoles, you know?
I don't know. Like, I think in all honesty, Marathon's finished. Bungie is probably finished.
Yeah.
Sony highly regrets their purchase of Bungie. But I will say, they have a small chance here, right? Because Arc Raiders is $40. If Marathon comes out and it's free, I think there's
That's
a chance
true,
that it does well, right? But I don't know if they'll ever make that decision, right? Like, that'd be a pretty bold thing.
Yeah.
And, like, I think it's obvious that Marathon's probably going to be at least, you know, 50. I mean, I would assume it's like a $70 game.
Yeah.
But
I would too.
which is stupid, right?
Yeah,
but
it
like
won't sell.
especially in this environment, especially with arc raiders doing as well as it is as a $40 game, the way you could potentially claim a victory here, even if your game isn't as good as arc raiders, you can say, hey, it's free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say Arc Raiders has the microtransactions of a free game, which is one of its biggest faults. It also, there's a controversy around, I'm just going to list some of the cons of the game right now because I've been
AI
very
stuff?
glowing. Yeah, AI voice acting, which I personally...
They did the same thing in the finals.
Yeah, it's the same as the
This was
finals.
the same people who made the finals. And it was a similar thing there.
Yeah, the AI voice acting thing is not a line in the sand for me because it is like there is spoken dialogue in this game that is clearly real voice acting where they get emotional and talk about the world, and then there's like call outs that the player characters make. And
I think the finals did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Where it was just like the call outs were AI generated.
I just don't care that much, I guess. Like they brought in voice actors, trained an AI on their voices with permission and everything. I have a hard time skipping such an incredible game for that reason. I know some people that are skipping it for that reason, and it's like, good for you, man. Stick to your guns, I guess. I got no problem with that. I really like it. The other thing is the microtransactions are very expensive, and the cosmetics... Everybody pretty much looks the same in this game, and that is a problem for a game this social. Because
do you think that's just early on in the game's life cycle before there's too many cosmetics like in the ecosystem
I think
or
that's
whatever?
part of it, but I think it's a real problem. I think they really should have done something about it because you're like paying for colors and stuff, I think. Like it's a problem because let me tell you a story. I was in a map called the Buried City, and I was in a room, and a guy saved my life. He shot an arc that I didn't see that would have killed me. And I was like, thank you, man. That was really nice. He walks out the door. I see him get sniped, and he walks off to the left. And I walk out the door, and there's a guy on the ground, and there's a guy standing. And I have no idea which is the one that I like. So I kill the guy. Like I kill the guy that's standing. If I didn't have time to ask, because if I'd asked, I'd have been dead, potentially. And so like it is a problem that everybody looks the same
interesting dynamic
in a game that is so social because you know, I meet people, I might run into them again later in the match, or what happened there is, you know, they walk off my screen for 1 second and suddenly I don't know who's who anymore, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think I am leaning towards getting this game because it's just such a unique dynamic. Because like in a game like Battlefield or Call of Duty, right?
Yeah,
you're gonna kill people, right?
Yeah.
Like there's no question about it. Even like battle royales, like Fortnite or whatever.
Yeah,
your whole objective is to kill people. Introducing that wrinkle of like, we can have a conversation and maybe I won't kill you.
Yeah.
Just turns the whole kind of like competitive shooter thing on its head.
And like I don't
It's
feel any
fascinating.
tension when I play Battlefield because I'm going to die a bunch of times and I'm going to kill a bunch of people.
Death has significance now. Right?
I mean, I have
highly significant.
I have games of Arc Raiders where I never see another player, but I do hear stuff they're doing. I hear gunfire. I hear arcs dying around. I hear maybe somebody looting, and I'm like, I am not equipped enough to fight right now, so I move away. I have games of Arc where I never see another player that are extremely tense.
Right, yeah.
And that's just, I don't know, it's just very unique for that. It's very addictive. It's
fascinating.
Yeah. And it's like, it's kind of neat that it has that tension, because Sea of Thieves had that tension for me. I think Sea of Thieves, is the closest analog to this game. And all the Sea of Thieves streamers I used to watch are playing Arc Raiders right now. So it's not just me making this connection. It's the social element, but it's also the will they or won't they fight you element. But in Sea of Thieves, when you would sink or something, it was actually a huge pain because you had to restock afterwards, and that would be like a huge pain to do and everything. In Arc Raiders, they have a free loadout system where like if you want to do a run that has no risk for you, you can take a free loadout and you get random low tier gear to do this run, and it's just a zero risk run. The rewards are going to be low, but you're just safe for that run. So you can, and if you like completely run out of gear, you have these loadouts available to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really important system to keep you from crashing out when you lose your stuff. You know, you can just hop right back into it and cool off. You don't have to just sit there and simmer while you restock your ship for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yes, it sounds very interesting. I'll probably bite the bullet and play it with you.
Yeah, let me know. We
At some
we
point.
do need we
I-
have to find a third person though.
Well, I was gonna say like it probably won't be this week though because I am quite busy
Okay.
like, through the weekend. But
Well, if you wait that long,
my eyes on it.
we might get duo queues. They're talking about adding them,
Hmm.
so that could be any day now.
Also, like shout outs. Who's the developer again?
Embark.
Embark. Shout outs to Embark. They're 2 for 2 now, in genres that are notoriously hard to make hits for. So they know what they're doing.
I got a shout out to the Digital Foundry did a write up on this. So I guess the way that they did it, this is an Unreal 5 game that runs immaculately.
Nice.
I have no frame drops, no noticeable frame drops ever. It's a game that incorporates DLSS and FSR, but I'm not using them. There is a bug right now. My current drivers mess up ray tracing. The game crashes if I turn ray tracing on. But before I was on this driver, like with full ray tracing, it was running fine at like 80 FPS. And I used FSR frame gen to get it up to 160 on my monitor. And this is all at 1440p ultra wide, if anybody cares.
Yeah.
And that's just great. That is not an easy thing to do. Apparently, the way they did that is by basically using none of Unreal Engine 5's feature set because none of those things are performant. So I didn't watch the whole Digital Foundry video, but that's the gist of it from what I've seen. But they did do
that
it.
makes sense. Yeah.
And it's a gorgeous game. I don't know if you've seen any clips, but it is extremely immersive and atmospheric.
Really, dude. I've somehow avoided seeing any. I have no idea what this game looks like.
It is also a game where lighting
I've just
matters.
like been reading about it. Yeah.
Like, because there are night raids where the gear is better, there's more arc, and there are fewer exits. And I also find that like you are not going to make friends on a night raid. Night raid players are usually going to kill you because the gear is like the loot is just so much better.
Yeah.
And in a night raid, there's no natural light in any of the buildings. So like anywhere that doesn't have lights on, you have to use a flashlight. And when you use a flashlight, you were like announcing your position to the entire map. Like, so it is frequent for me to like clear a room with my flashlight and then turn it off and try to remember where everything was, stuff like that. And like sometimes I can't even see the arc coming at me immediately. So it is interesting. It is not typical to care about lighting in a video game this much, especially a multiplayer game. So I just think it's neat. I really like it. I'm playing it a lot. I'm like 22 hours into this game now, and I've had it for a week.
It is crazy how it just came out and stole everyone's thunder.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this is the game of the fall. Not Call of Duty, not Battlefield, but
Yeah.
Arc
I think this is going to be on our Game of the Year bracket, even if I'm its only defender. I think it made the bracket.
Wow. Yeah. All right. I think so. I haven't really been playing anything. I've been busy. I've
I do have one more.
dipped my. Huh?
I have one more if you don't have anything.
You have one more.
I have
Oh,
one
I thought
more,
you were done.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go for it.
I played the new update of Peak. This will be pretty quick, but Peak is a game that I really thought was going to be a drop, like a flash in the pan that I would never play again, that I would play like 5 hours of or something. This is
Yeah.
a really good update that they added. Since we last talked about it, they added the Mesa, which I've only played a few times, but it was like fine. But they added a biome that replaces the tropics sometimes called Roots. And this added a bunch of new items that are like really fun to figure out what they do. It's like playing the game. It's like the game's new again. They added enough stuff that it feels
That's
very
awesome.
new. But the Roots, like I really like the update, but I hate the Roots so much. I'm going to spoil a little bit of it here. But
Have you ever had a successful run?
yeah, I have.
so far.
I've had two.
Okay.
With my buddy Christian, who's kind of sweaty at it. So I kind of got carried. But we were playing the Roots last night, and the Roots is like this mushroom forest kind of thing, and it has zombies in it. Like, I didn't see them for the longest time, but Christian fell and died.
Like enemies?
Yeah, Christian fell and died, and so it's just me climbing by myself, and I see a dead body, and I'm like, Christian, is this you? I thought you fell like pretty far from here. And then it gets up and starts running at me, and it has like mushrooms growing out of it. And like this is a really cartoony game, but the primal fear that this put into me, because you have no way to fight these things, and they're just running at you, and they can.
And wait, and you thought this was your buddy?
I did it first, but he said no, it's not me.
Yeah.
And because he's a ghost now.
Doppelgangers?
No, I think they're just orange, and he happened to be orange. I think it was a coincidence.
No.
But this zombie's running at me, and it kills me like pretty quickly. And then I had an item that brought me back, and so I run away, and like, but now I know there's zombies in this biome, and I just keep hearing stuff. Like I'll hear or something. I'm like looking around. I'm like, where is it? And I've got Christian. He's dead, so he can look around me. He's in like the ghost spectator mode, looking around me, and he's like calling him out. And it's like 5 minutes or something of climbing. He's like, zombie. So he like yells in my ear, zombie, zombie, zombie. And it's like right on me, and it's chasing me, and I'm climbing, and it like has the same movement speed as me. It's very difficult to escape these things. And it's like actually really scary to me for some reason, even though this game is so cartoony. Like it had my heart rate up there. I was freaking out. So I'm excited.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And this is a free update.
This is a free update to Peak, to an $8 game. Like I love this game. I am so glad that I got it. I actually play it a lot. Like it's a great the only problem is the runs are so long. If you're good, it can be like an hour or so, but my runs tend to be like 2 hours if I get a win. And I usually either win or die in the last area now. And so or I have a bad run, and a bad run is even slower than 2 hours. And so that's kind of a problem. Like it's not a weeknight game, because I usually don't want to sit down to play until like 8, and then I wouldn't be done until 10 or 10:30 sometimes. So I don't end up, it's hard to fit on a weeknight.
Yeah.
But it's a good game. I did not expect the staying power, but it's had staying power. It has been in my rotation for a long time now.
That's awesome. What a year for video games, man.
Yeah.
Even the episode where we establish our bracket, I think, is going to be a tough one.
I think
there's so many quality games to sift through.
Yeah, and I figure we want to get like 16. And I think
16.
there's significantly more than 16.
I think there's way more than 16.
I think we're going to be like 25 good games this year.
I think it's going to be
like
an exciting time at the end of the year here. Yeah, so what I was saying before, haven't really played much. I did purchase and play a little bit of Final Fantasy Tactics, but I've not played enough to really talk about it in any meaningful way, so I'm just going to pass this week. But
I did the same thing. I picked up Monster Hunter Stories 2 today, and I want to sink my teeth into that a little more before I talk about it.
I think by the time we do the next episode, we'll probably be talking about the nominees for the Game Awards. So
we'll be raging
forward
about
to that.
Them, probably.
That'll be exciting. Yeah, I mean,
did you see the Grammys thing? Did you see Claire Obscure got snuffed in the Grammys?
I just don't. What is that?
I guess they do a best video game
that?
soundtrack for the Grammys, and I guess they have for like 3 years now, and it's all detritus.
And why are they doing it in early November?
I have no idea.
Like,
well, it's nominees.
It was just nominees. Okay, yeah, like that's psychotic to me. Like if Claire Obscure's not on there for music,
it's not
for
nominated.
The Game Awards. I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like if it's not on the Game Awards nominations, because I don't know what that thing you sent was, and I don't
it was the
know if I
it was
should
the
take
Grammys,
seriously at all.
like the Grammys,
the Grammys, like the music Grammys.
Yeah, the music Grammys. They do
a video game section.
They do
now?
a video game soundtrack. Yeah, they have since
Well,
2023.
they don't know what they're talking about.
No, they don't. They clearly don't play. Yeah. Like Indiana Jones was on there. Come on, grow up.
And that came out last year, right?
It came out late enough last year.
Okay, whatever. We're not even give that any oxygen. That's dumb. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Jeff Keighley's list looks like.
Dude, we might be talking about the Steam Frame next week. Rumors are strong. It's going to be announced tomorrow.
Yeah.
Have you seen them, or have you just seen me talk about it?
I saw apparently I saw Half-Life is also going to get announced.
Oh, I didn't see that, but they're probably going to line up.
I don't care at this point.
We've seen the new Steam controller now, but we've seen an AI-generated image trained on a leaked image because he didn't want to post the leaked image because he was afraid it would give away his source, which is really just weird. It's a weird
just
world
really
we
dumb.
live in.
Okay.
But I posted it in the Discord.
Whatever. Well, if something interesting happens, we'll talk about it. Yeah. Let's just leave it there. All right, thank you all for listening. You can follow us at Podcast Game Talk on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Click the link in the description to join our Discord and talk to us there. And please like, rate, and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast services you use. Thank you, Connor and Mike.
See you guys next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.